Welcome, SpirLifters. My name is Devin and hope you're all doing well today. Thank you so much for being here. Right now, the world is a chaotic mess with the coronavirus, paralyzing our day-to-day life and causing so much stress and anxiety for many people worldwide. One area that the virus pandemic has made a significant adverse impact on small business owners and entrepreneurs all over the world, forcing many people to close shop, lay off staff, and impact in a negative way their finances and liquidity situation. Today, I'll be speaking to a small business owner from Oxford, England, who can speak to these challenges in our current environment. My special guest today is Saleh Elmasri. He's gonna kill me for debauching his last name, but he can correct me later. Sorry about that. Saleh is the founder of Opera Cafe, a boutique cafe shop currently based in Oxford in the UK, and he is also the former international relations manager of the wounded evacuation team during the civil unrest in the Middle East in 2011. He was also a professional trader of fixed incomes and currencies in the financial district of London. Saleh has a master's degree in banking and finance from Queen Mary University of London, as well as a bachelor's of engineering degree in electronic engineering and design from Oxford Brookes University. He was also the founder and co-founder of other companies, some which succeeded, others failed, such as Choco Donuts, English Top Up, Mena Commercial Services, and Sahara Food. Needless to say, Saleh is an expert when it comes to small business and entrepreneurship. Saleh, thank you so much for being part of this conversation today on the SpirLift channel, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Devin, thank you very much for having me on your channel. I'm very privileged to be talking to your guests and yourself. Obviously, it's very, very challenging times, and I would love to share my experience with everybody.
Saleh, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And well, let's start off by this, and let's just get kind of straight to the point with the question is, how has this situation, the coronavirus impact, affected your business day to day right now? This is a bit of insight to that.
It has been catastrophic to some extent. So it was very, very sudden. And it happened almost overnight, where we were fully operational. Everything was absolutely fine. The business was buzzing with life, buzzing with development, business development programs. And overnight, we realized that we actually cannot continue because the epidemic has hit England, and it has hit very hard and very quickly. So it changed everything. It had a financial impact. It had an emotional impact. However, one must adapt, and one must understand that now, even for small businesses, is about how quickly you can adapt. And you must adapt into different parameters, where you must adapt in a way where you can keep yourself and your business and the society around you safe, and at the same time, the financial impact don't break you or break your business. That has been the main challenges to get around throughout this epidemic, and we currently still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, like we are in the business of hospitality, right? We had overnight to adapt online. And it's currently work in progress, but it proved to be a lifeline for us for the next 3 to 4 months. And that's, I've seen other small businesses also adapting, like yoga teachers, musicians even. It's all about learning how to survive at the moment.
Okay, all right. So really quick, going back to your business, what is it exactly again, we just go in a bit more detail, what you do and what your business is and how how is that, like affecting you in such a way, because you might otherwise have to run your business in a purely, service way, one-to-one with the customer in person. So tell us a little bit about your business, and then we'll talk about the way of adapting to this whole different way of doing things. No?
So, we are a boutique cafe. We serve, sandwiches, we serve breakfast. Our workforce in total is, we have 12 people in our payroll, right? So, and it's a place where the local community and tourists can come in and enjoy a nice meal and, a nice cup of coffee. We have around 35 covers. And that was the experience. The experience of Opera Cafe, it's basically your second home away from home. And this is what, we're working on. It's very interactive. We are very interactive with our customers, and that had to stop because it wasn't safe anymore. And this is how it had impacted us. We tried to adapt by serving only takeaways to ensure customer safety as well as staff safety. But that eventually didn't work. It actually didn't work because it's not, we tried it. It was still not safe.
But why is that not working? Is it because in the UK, like no one can, I guess from what I know so far, no one can really go outside their homes at all. No one can be around anybody. They've come, they're one of the countries much more under lockdown. Is that why or why?
So 2 weeks ago, and that's when that was at that point, it was actually fine. The measures were not as strict. However, the advice was you should not get in touch very close to each other. You should keep a gap of 2 meters between you and any other party, right? However, in a cafe environment, that's just not possible. It's really not possible. So, and you would have a place, a contained place where 120 people walks in and out on a daily basis, and you cannot guarantee the sanitization of the services. And this is when we understood that there is a moral imperative for us to shut the place down and just to keep our customers safe and our staff safe. However, obviously that would have financial consequences that one can you must take in consideration. That's the battle of a lot of small business owners at the moment, where you gotta do the right thing and you must do the right thing. However, how you can pay the bills and how you can keep your business afloat throughout these crises.
Yeah, that must be really heavy for you right now, and I'm so sorry that you got to go through this as a business owner now, and the stress put upon you is tremendous. I can't imagine.
It's true. However, there is a positive side of it. So one famous quotation that I really work by is that you never let a crisis go to waste, right? There's always a solution, and there's always crises tend to, especially for businessmen and entrepreneurs, tend to push us to our limit where we can be the most creative and the most, innovation really kicks in throughout times of crisis. And I know it's easier for some businesses, than others. But what I would say for all the entrepreneurs and all small business owners, try to figure out a way. One is either to survive by adapting your business online, which cannot be the case in a lot of industries. I totally understand that. Or kind of try to work on those little things, your homework, all those projects that you put aside and then you just never had the time to do them, right? A classic example, like in our case, we're currently working on a digital library. We never had the time to do that. And it's a very important project, but yeah, a digital library, so our chefs can, click on a library, it's safe, and they can learn, and we can provide them training via video, right? So it's those little things. We're working on how we can make a financial model where we can understand our profitability better. Mm-hmm. So these are like my general manager at the moment. He's working on that. My deputy is kind of like, you still can do things at home because we're not going to be home forever.
Sure.
So you still can keep that lifeline, keep that business going. So when you come back, you can come back strong. You can come back in a better position, at least management-wise. Mm-hmm. As a founder, you would have to figure out a way, impacting, to attack that financial stress. You got to find out a way to keep your business afloat.
And how do you do that?
So definitely creativity. You got to be creative. Is either by adapting your business model, you cannot so let's say Nokia, right? The classic example of Nokia. Nokia have done nothing wrong, but the only thing they have failed to do is to adapt. And it is to adapt to the new generations of phones. That's, Nokia at some point, they were the definition of mobile phones, right? But they did not adapt. And this is how dangerous adaptability can be if you don't do that. Mm-hmm. If you don't keep that innovation process, that creativity process in place in the long term or in times of crisis, this can really bite you back. So you must adapt. And if you cannot do that due to industry restrictions, a lot of governments, depends on your demographics and your geographical location, a lot of governments tend to provide support. For example, like the government of the United Kingdom, they guaranteed 80% of our workforce salaries for the next 3 months. Okay. They also issue grants via local councils, so we can keep up with the bills and so we can basically stay afloat. You also can go to lenders like banks and financial companies. They tend to be more understanding and more lean in times of crisis. And worst come to worst, you just pause. You talk to your landlord if you hire premises. You talk to your creditors. You talk to your suppliers. You try to come into terms with that chain, that business chain, where you can negotiate a more relaxed terms. Because listen, David, everybody is affected by this.
Yeah.
Right. So usually people are very, very understanding to means that they are unprecedented, right? So you as a founder or as a business owner, you gotta capitalize on that. No, you gotta speak. You gotta speak to your creditors. You gotta speak to, if you have a credit line with a supplier, if you have a contract that you are, you cannot deliver on, yes, speak to those parties and come in with an agreement where, you guarantee that once you come back, you'll be fine. And in the meantime, you can work on your homework. Work on how to come back in a positive, better place. So that's my advice.
Okay. And in your experience right now, or, I don't know, like when you mentioned with certain contracts and with certain agreements with creditors and financial obligations you may have to be paying back, especially the banks, with you saying that, the way you are saying that, have you seen personally that they're willing to do that? They're willing to be more open and help and agree on different terms and conditions and help you stay more afloat financially?
Absolutely, David. Absolutely. It actually goes even some creditors and some banks, you wouldn't even have to phone them up, right? you would go on the website, and they would have, links and pages just for, there's a form you can fill in and it's processed then. So this is how easy it can be. You'd be surprised. I was very surprised. Mm-hmm. This is the case in the UK, and this is the case with some of the lenders. Of course, that doesn't apply all over the world. Okay. However, I would assume some sense of similarity, because it's one of the worst pandemics in the last 100 years. So there must be some sense of understanding. Like, it's in nobody's interest to go back to a collapsed economy. Mm-hmm. So even your lenders, even your, creditors, even your, suppliers, they would definitely, it is in their best interest that you don't go bankrupt, right? Mm-hmm. And so yeah, there is kind of an understanding that goes by default in these times, and it's similar. Like, you can compare it to a wartime at the moment, because literally, like, countries are going into wars with these virus, right? So yeah, the normalities change, and definitely I would say speak to your creditors, speak to the areas in your chain that is stressful the most. That's what I would say.
Okay, excellent. And one final theme and question: what are some of the permanent things or adaptations, as you're doing now, that you're implementing now and that you'll probably keep over for your business for the long run, in case something like this were to ever happen again? And what, like, 1 to 3 tips would you give entrepreneurs or business owners like you in your situation to try to sort out for their own particular circumstance?
Absolutely, Devin. So let me explain. So first of all, I'm in the, as you said, I'm the hospitality industry. Now, you must, like, for us, we decided to go online. We decided to serve our products online, and there is 2 reasons for that. So the first one is the fact that it's, you can have a financial lifeline within, in the business, and there's also a moral imperative in terms of solidarity, that you actually can still feed the local community, it's good food, and you can give them break from cooking, and you can give them, little breaks of this hardship. You can still keep the area available to them, right? But then it's probably going to continue, because we are learning throughout the process. We are learning how to make our menu more travel friendly, more, also very quick to prepare. So it's totally different operations. And to be honest, like, we probably gonna continue with that, because online is something totally different, from our original business model. So this is what I would advise my colleagues and friends in the hospitality industry: try to make the most of your empty premises to change the operations to be more to adapt to the online menu. And I would say, even if you don't have the means to deliver, you can partner with companies, depends wherever you are, you can partner with companies that will deliver on your behalf, and they're everywhere right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
No.
And you will be surprised. You'll be surprised of what would come out of it. Like, it's very interesting, but our profitability levels at the moment, it's very early to say, but just looking at data for the last 2 weeks, our profitability actually gone higher. I'm not saying gross revenue is higher, but the percentile on profitability is higher. So you would actually be surprised of what you might come out with this as a business, and definitely, like, we feel that we're gonna take this on board, hopefully even after the crisis is over very soon.
Excellent. And I think that's an extremely important message, and something that everyone who's in a similar situation like you should really pay attention to is really finding and making certain pivots and developing infrastructures that will help you now, but also serve in the long run for any situation that may occur like this again, and hopefully not, you know. So
hopefully not. Hopefully, yeah. We I'm sure, I'm confident we will go through this. We will beat it. We will beat it.
Absolutely, Saleh. And sorry I butchered your name, but anyways, you know, anyone in you know the Oxford area, especially, where can they find you? What information can they look for online to find you and find your site and anything, so you know that they can, you know, help?
Absolutely. We are on social media. Just, you know, our small cafe called Opera Cafe Oxford on, you know, on Instagram and Facebook. If anybody would like more details about how we are adapting and would like to share their thoughts and bounce back some ideas, I'm more than happy to help. I'm more than happy, you know, to share, you know, my experience, and I'm more than happy to learn as well.
Yeah.
They can contact me on saleh.elmasri@me.com. That's saleh.elmasri@me.com.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And we'll include your information in the video description box in this video. Okay, so people can
absolutely, yeah, that would.
Yeah, and we'll share that with everyone. And Saleh, this has been an honor. This is I wish the very best for you, and anyone that can help out you in these times as well. And you know, taste your delicious food. That would be, you know, certainly amazing. You know.
Same to you, David. And I hope, we all go through this safe, and and we come back to our daily nice lives.
Yeah, we just gotta be a little patient. That's it. You know, little by little. And if you've gotten value from this video, please like, share, subscribe, and tell your family and friends. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.
Thank you, David.